Hi, Merry Christmas. I have one day this week that I could make a video about this, and I had a friend who talked about how she wanted to know what people were doing with their stitching journals for this year. So I decided to do a little video, talk about what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to go back and forth between looking at the camera and looking at myself in the camera, so don't mind my eyes, they'll go everywhere. But yeah, so I'm going to talk about my journal plans. I even wrote down some notes on what I want to do with them. So here are all the challenges for the beginning of the book, which kind of talk about different projects you can do. They got rid of the one that, I guess because they do different challenges each year for their book, but they got rid of the one that was finish your oldest project. So I'm probably going to add that back in because I did not finish my oldest project this year because I was getting married and had no time. So I'm hoping to do that now. For the first challenge, it says start a pattern released in 2023. I don't know what project I'm going to do yet because I haven't gotten a one that has been released in 2023. So we will skip that one. I have a personal goal for this year to have 30 projects that I'm focusing on. I've picked 30 because I'm going to be 30, so I thought that would be kind of a cute thing. I've realized it's really tough to pick 30 projects. I've been messaging my friend Adele and have found it to be a lot harder than I thought it would be. Stitch on a freebie pattern. So I actually had someone in my cross stitch group that I started, Fandom Stitching Challenge, mention that I should do, I even wrote it down on a separate page so that I could make it nice and pretty on mine. It's called Xmas Time 2011. The next challenge it's saying is stitch on a pattern with a date or a month. I have multiple patterns with dates and months, but I will finish or at least work on July for this one. It's July by Country Cottage Needleworks. She did like this whole, monthly sal where she released a new one each month, and I did so many of them, and I was so proud of myself. It was like a finish every month. And then, but that was also because of like COVID at the time when it was coming out. It came out at a good time for COVID and dealing with that. So yeah, I'll do July there. Let's see, stitch on a rainy day. Funnily enough, I'm in California, Southern California. So it actually probably I won't be able to do this one until the end of the year. But sometimes we have years where we get literally no rain, and sometimes we have years like this year where it has rained like most of the end of last month, beginning of this month. It might rain at the end of this month, which will make me very sad because it's my wedding time. So we'll wait on what project I want to do on my rainy day. Start a new project on a holiday. So we'll have to figure out what start I want to do then. Start and finish a project in 24 hours. That's gonna be really tough, but maybe I'll do Black Needle Society, which is the ones that gave me this book. They do snails that are representative of like different things, and so they have one snail that I got that was a moonrise snail and another one that's like a holiday snail, so maybe I'll do one of those. Stitch on a pattern with thread from a retreat box. That's an easy one. I'll probably just do frog words because that one has a lot of threads from the retreat box itself. Stitch on a project with a person. I didn't write down any that I could think of ahead of time. I know I have projects with people in it. I guess I could do, thinking off the top of my head, I could do Gigi from Bewitching Pixies, which is a Nora Corbett. So why don't I put that down? Stitch on a project with a building. Yeah, I could not think of any for this one, but Skyline. What do you mean Skyline?
Do you have like a Skyline one?
Not one that I have in my top 30, I don't think. Oh wait, actually I do. Thank you, I have Pretty Little Pears, so let's do that.
Yeah, that one. And Hawaii.
Yeah, but I'm only focusing on Pretty Little Paris this year.
Gotcha.
So Pretty Little Paris is by Satsuma Street. So we will do that one. That's a good one. Stitch on a project with only one color. One color. Oh my gosh.
Pumpkin.
How boring. Pumpkin isn't one color though. It is technically 3. I literally have no projects that are one color, so that one will have to come when I find one. Stitch on a project in the wrong season, i.e. summer and winter. That's very fun. I have a bunch like that. Yeah, I'll do animal advent calendar, and I'll just like pick a time in the year to do it when it's not Christmas, which is easy. And the last one is stitch on a project you customized. I actually customize a lot of my projects a lot of the time. My cat's about to jump on the table. Or she wants to at least. But I can't think of any off the top of my head, so that will be another one that's like, oh, hi Bonnie. That will be, can you move your butt? Thank you. Right in front of my camera. So I'll have to decide later what I'm gonna do for that one. Okay, so now it goes to 2023 goals and starting stats. So number of whips, we're gonna write down 30 and we're gonna stick to 30, right everybody? Stick to 30. My partner's laughing in the background. So I also know that part of this challenge is to literally start like a new project. So I'll inevitably be starting new projects. But right now we're gonna say 30 is the number of whips we're starting with. I have almost 100. I was looking it up the other day because I have like a spreadsheet and I have almost reached 100. So we need to get some finishes in this year. No, Bonnie, stop. Okay, so number of finishes in 2022 were 5, which is actually pretty good. Like, proud of myself. Alrighty, the next question is an embarrassing one. Number of new starts in 2022. Amanda, you ready?
Sure.
It was 19.
Yeah.
19 new starts.
Yeah.
Let's read through the ones that I started this year. I started Disney Villains, which I had done the character ones, and you can see the pillow finish up there with the little Mickey. That one I actually customized a lot of the characters. I added characters, took out characters I didn't like as much, and did it that way. And then had Vanna Pfeiffer. She has her own customizing business, and she was the one who finished it for me, which was great, because then I didn't have to do it myself. So Disney Villains I started on January 1st. Badger Hufflepuff. So I have a Slytherin Hufflepuff pillow that I had made, and I'm working on a Hufflepuff one for my partner who is a Hufflepuff, and that I also started on January. I started Mate Wolves, which on January 8th, which I'm doing for a woman who has started to lose her eyesight, and she kind of gave me a deadline of finish it when you finish it, which is dangerous for someone like me who's like, well, I'm just gonna put it off when I need to be working on it. But I really want to work on it a lot more this year and get that going, and hopefully finish it either by the end of this year or maybe sometime next year. And by next year, I mean 2023 to 2024. Okay, I also started Moonflowers, which was a Nora Corbett, and that was on January 21st. I started Aurora, Abby Sue Designs made that on January 25th. I had this whole plan for my wedding to do like all of the princesses she has, but they were too many stitches. Like it was a couple thousand, and when we needed closer to like less than 1,000 to stitch on for table numbers for my wedding, my mom ended up taking over that project. Bless her heart. Thank you, Mom. And that project, it's almost done. The wedding is in a week, and Mom's still working on one more, but like she'll get it done because she's been doing it really quickly. So it's great. I have Christmas Eve, Couriers, Rudolph. That's also Nora Corbett. You can tell who my favorite designer is. I have so many of hers that I haven't started, but I just have the patterns. Started that in February. I have a Joshua Tree National Park project, which I think I did 2 stitches in because I was with my family and couldn't actually like do very much. But I wanted to start a project on my birthday, and that was March 19th. That was from a national park cross-stitch book that my friend gave me because I have become really obsessed with national parks. Under the Sea, yes, Under the Sea, Stitch Along. I was doing so well. I think I got through like 5 parts and was successfully on time. And then wedding stuff started taking over my life. I started working at a new school, and I'm a brand new teacher, so it's been a very busy year. Anyway, I did start that, and I started that on March 25th and got pretty far in it. I also did the Animal House Sal for a little bit, April 29th, that was Satsuma Street. Supernatural, which was Supernatural, which was from the style of the cryptids that Witchy Stitcher did, and that was July 21st. Harry Potter character on July 31st, my friend and I got a couple of them. I don't remember who the designer is, but they make these little characters, and we bought like all of them, and we have been working on them a little bit here and there. And yeah, we started one together, and we had this whole plan to start a bunch of them, but of course life gets in the way. Year in the Woods, I had a plan to make a owl for my Mostavini, who cross-stitched the name tags for every person invited to my wedding, which was 169 people. 100 people are coming, 106 people are coming, but yeah, she stitched 169 over the year of people's names. And yeah, I was gonna give her this gift, but then I again ran out of time, but I started it August 2nd. Monster March, I started at a retreat. I'm trying to remember which retreat it was. Wasn't StitchCon. That was August 4th. Was it StitchCon? I think it may have been StitchCon. Yeah. Wait. Yes? I totally don't remember. Oh my gosh. I have the worst memory in the world, but yeah, it was at a retreat. We went to a store and I saw that and was like, I want it. And that was Glendon Place design. Moonrise Snail, that is, I did start that one. Okay, so I started that one August 7th, and I started that at Black Needle Society. Oh, this was the Black Needle Society retreat. That was in Kansas City. It was the first time I had been out there before. So yeah. So that's where also Monster March was from. Halloween Hoedown, August 8th. So fun to stitch on. I even finished the pig of it, the bat pig, and he's so cute and I love him. So I really love Halloween Hoedown, and I can't, Pedal Pusher I think is her designer. March Aquamarine Fairy, I believe, Zodiac, or no, I think it's March Aquamarine Fairy, August 16th, and that is Honora Corbett. Happy Halloween, who's Happy Halloween? Oh, Happy Halloween, Frosted Pumpkin. My mom didn't want her pattern that she got from our box that we got from Black Needle Society. Mom got the treat box, I got the trick box. My trick box was all like Stephen King based, and so I started that project, and I started the Frosted Pumpkin one as part of Halloween celebrating. I started Narnia, oh, this was back in February. For some reason I didn't do it in the right date. But yeah, I started Narnia, and I don't remember the name of the designer. She makes book designed, themed ones, and then it's like everybody reads the book, and then she has like a Zoom day where everybody talks about the book, and you're also stitching along with like 3 parts of the project. So a little stitch along. And one of the last ones was 'Twas the Night, and that was at a retreat that my mom and I went to together sometime in 2022, but I don't remember. So those were all the 19 projects that I had started this year. A very busy year of starting projects and not finishing nearly enough, only 5. This year we're gonna try to be better. We're aiming for not too many new starts. The next thing on the list is projects near finished. So projects near finished for me is really only Hobbit Hole, Rebecca Nurse, and Gigi. Yeah, Gigi I've started a couple years ago, so she's on her way. Hobbit Hole, it's my oldest whip, so I want to finish that one. I like the idea of trying to finish like your oldest project each year. I think that's a really good goal to have, unless I guess if you don't like it anymore, especially like some folks who have projects from like 30 years ago, like Hobbit Hole is from 5 years ago, so that's not as bad. So I have Hobbit Hole, Rebecca Nurse. My ancestor is Rebecca Nurse, who was one of the folks during the Salem trials that was convicted of witchcraft. All of those folks were, exonerated, 100 years later. But yeah, she was murdered by the people of Salem for witchcraft, hung until she died. She was the oldest to die. Interesting story about Rebecca Nurse's children is that when you are hung by the neck for witchcraft, they will bury you in a unmarked grave on like unhallowed ground, so it's not, you know, holy, it hasn't been blessed by the church, because you are believed to have been a witch, even though she literally never said I am guilty. Like, she never said she was guilty, because if you say you're guilty, you lose everything. You lose your land, you lose your money, you lose, literally the city will take it away from you. And she wasn't gonna do that to her children and her grandchildren. Also, she was like 80 something. But her children ended up in the middle of the night and went and undug her up and then brought her home and put her in an unmarked grave at their homestead. So that was kind of cool that they did that. And very brave. Stitching goals. What stitching goals do I have? Actually, let's pick a different color. Let's do orange. I have the goal to stick to 30 projects. We'll see. I have a goal to do maybe 1 or 2 new starts, but not too many more than that. That's gonna be impossible for me. My friend Adele has said that. My partner has said that. Everyone believes I can't do it. I'll show them. We'll see how the video next year ends up. I don't know, I can really only think of 2 stitching goals. I feel like it's so hard to be like, this is my goal for stitching. Why don't we say that I want to get at least, we'll say 6 finishes. And we say that because I did 5 last year, so we'll try to do 6 this coming year at least. A lot of the other stuff is kind of like personal goals, projects to be fully finished and how, so I don't know any of that yet, and I don't know when I'm gonna finish it. So we will hold off on that. All right, this next one's really fun. This is what it looks like. It's an A to Z challenge, and I had filled it out last year in the other book, but did not do much of it, but we're gonna try to do it this time. It says, put at least 500 stitches or finish a project that begins with each letter of the alphabet in 2023. Starter words such as A or the do not count as the beginning of the title of the piece. That is very nice. For the letter X, it may be in any part of the title words. That's actually very nice. I didn't even read that part. Good to know. I might change what my X is. Probably because having an X one is really tough. I had to literally message people and be like, anyone have an X project? All right, for A. For A, we are starting with Animal Advent Calendar, which is by Brooks Publishing Company, Brooks Books Publishing Company, or something like that. I won't write them out, just because that will take too long. I'm doing Badger, which is the Hufflepuff one. It's called Badger because I don't think they were allowed to legally call it Hufflepuff on Etsy when I got it. Christmas Eve Couriers, Nora Corbett, Dark Queen of the Earth, which is Autumn Lane Stitchery, and it's a stitch along that I started and I was doing really good. Again, because of getting married towards the end of this year, I have not been able to stitch on it very much, but I pop in when I can. Ethan Elephant, which is part of the Animal Advent. I am counting the animal names in Animal Advent Calendar because they are each a separate pattern, so I'm counting it. Frogworts for F, G, GG, H, Hobbit Hole. Hobbit Hole, I don't know who the designer was, it was 5 years ago. I, Isabel Stamp is Isabel from Encanto. The little stamps that have princesses, and also she does like Sailor Moon, and she does lots of other fandoms. It's amazing. The designer's name is Lunar Fox. She's great. July for J, Sampler of the Month. K, Kenny Kangaroo, Animal Advent Calendar. L, Larry Lion, Animal Advent Calendar. M, Mates Wolves, which is a Dimensions project, I think. Narnia, again, I can't remember the designer name. I should have written it down. I have One Nation, which is a really beautiful flag. Pretty Little Paris, Satsuma Street. Quaker Halloween for Q. Added that one in. Someone found one and I was like, great, I'll do that. It's cute. Rebecca Nurse for R. September for Sampler of the Month. 'Twas the Night for T. Universal Monsters, also by Witchy Stitcher. My first Witchy Stitcher that I did. Victorian Witch for V. W is Winter, Maidens of the Season, and I love that project so much. It's beautiful. I was gonna do Xmas Time for 2011, but I'm gonna change it now so that I don't have to start a new one and we can stick to my plan of 1 to 2 new starts. So we'll get rid of that X for something else. Year in the Woods, that's my only Y. And Z is Zodiac Signs, Stitch Along. So that's everybody for A through Z. The next challenge is Pamper Yourself. I feel like this is a harder one. It's use this list to name projects you would like to make progress on this year, and when your goal is and what your goal is for the piece. So you kind of write down like how many stitches you want to put in it, and you give yourself a reward. It says goals can include a specific number of stitches you'd like to make on each project or pieces you'd like to finish. Once you hit your goal, reward yourself, which is cute. But I never know what reward to put, so I always kind of go at random with that one, or I don't do that one very often. It's not my favorite page. Word of the Year Stitching Challenge. This is pretty smart. Our word of the year is satisfaction, as in we hope that your stitching brings you satisfaction. Join us in stitching on projects throughout 2023 that begin with each letter of the word. Please do not repeat projects. The ones I chose were September, Animal Advent, 'Twas the Night, Isabel Stamp. I have a sun planet that I'm gonna stitch on, Frogwarts, which is Black Needle Society, Aurora, Christmas Eve Couriers, Toothless. I've been meaning to finish Toothless. It is a character from How to Train Your Dragon, and I have a little stitch of him. And this is for my partner, Amanda, my soon-to-be wife. It's called I'm a Mermaid. And it's really cute. So I'm gonna do that one. It's called I'm Actually a Mermaid, which is very cute. And then I'll do One Nation and Narnia. All right, so for the bingo side, which looks like this, bingo, it says, mark off the squares of your bingo card as you finish projects throughout the year. Only mark off one space per finish. Don't forget to post and tag us on Instagram, on Facebook. I did not do well with bingo this year. I think I was able to cross off a few of them. I'll try to do another video in January to kind of show off my stats for this year. But I don't know. I wrote down for bingo that I could do the Stitch Along one, Dark Earth Queen. Sold as a Kit is really only the Mate Wolves one that I have from Dimensions. There's one that includes Quaker, so specifically I picked the Quaker one because I could also do this challenge of project title includes Quaker. But they have other ones like Project is Stitched 1/1, Gifted to You, Sold as a Kit, Creature with Wings, Cat or Dog, Country Outside Your Own, so I could do Paris. Oh wait, a designer is from a country outside of your own. Okay, I have a bunch from like everywhere, so that one's easy. Project has a bow. Project has nothing but cross stitches, so I assume no specialty stitches like French knot and things. Maybe no back stitching either. Project is larger than 100 by 100 stitches. Project has a sun. Obviously I have a sun project. Project has flowers. I have a few of those. Part of a series. I have a few of those. Full coverage. I have 2. Project has all numbers. I don't think I have any with all numbers, so I probably wouldn't do that one. Project has 3 or more designers. Project was designed for a fandom. Project is smaller than 50 by 50 stitches. Project is an ornament. Project is from a magazine book. Has a joke or pun. Model is finished as a pillow. Title includes Quaker and more than 5 years old. Last page. Exciting. Last page is Stitch All the Colors, and it looks like this. Stitch all the colors. So for Stitch All the Colors, I have almost every single one. Add some color to your 2023 stitching. Stitch on pieces with these different fabric colors throughout the year to complete the challenge, which I love this because I am big on stitching many different projects on many different fabric colors. I love doing that. I'm part of a fabric of the month club that is really fun. So let's see. We have red. My son is on a red fabric, very red, like this Santa red. I have no orange fabrics actually, so I can't do orange yet. I'll have to figure out one of my new projects, maybe try to put it on orange. Orange isn't the cutest color to me, so that's a tough one. But like when I think of orange, I think of like Halloween, so I guess I'll figure something out. Anyway, yellow, Rebecca Nurse fabric is yellow. Green, I have Narnia. Teal, September. Blue, Christmas Couriers. Christmas Eve Couriers. Couriers, I keep saying that wrong. Couriers. Indigo, my Zodiac Signs project. Purple, Mate Wolves. Pink, Aurora. So Aurora is the Abby Sue one, and I can do her on pink. Brown, Frogworts. Black, I have a moon, planet moon. So I have a sun planet and I have a planet moon, and I have all the planets technically. My mom had gotten it originally as a gift to stitch for my dad, but it's like a lot of stitching and it's full coverage. So my mom was like, never mind, this is not for me. But I have that, so I'll do the moon one, and I started it already. Gray, Universal Monsters. White, Badger. And that's everything for my stitching this year. For next year. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. It's really fun to start these challenges and kind of like check things off. And my next video, I'll try to do one that shows all my stats in January. So thank you for watching if you watched, and have a great day.